Ladies, have you ever met a man who seemed completely into you, and then out of nowhere, he pulled away? One day, he's calling, texting, showering you with attention, and the next, he's distant, cold, and unpredictable. What happened? Did his feelings change? Did you do something wrong? Or is there something deeper going on inside his mind that you don't see? Here's the truth. Most women don't know. Men don't fall in love the same way women do. Their emotional journey follows 3 powerful stages, and if you miss what's happening in stage 2, you can unintentionally push him away, even if he was ready to commit. This video isn't just another dating tip guide, it's a deep dive into male psychology and the secret triggers that make a man choose you, chase you, and fall in love forever. I'm Suman Alon. I'm going to reveal why most women misunderstand men's emotional signals, what actually happens when a man starts feeling vulnerable, the hidden turning point where he decides if you're the one, or just another passing connection. Stay with me until the very end, because stage 2 is where most relationships fail. But it's also where you can stand out from every other woman he's ever met. This isn't about playing games or changing who you are. It's about understanding his mind, building emotional attraction, and creating a connection so powerful, he can't imagine his life without you. Let's dive in. Have you ever wondered why some women seem to effortlessly capture a man's heart, while others, no matter how beautiful, kind, or amazing they are, struggle to get him to commit? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's understanding the psychology behind how a man actually falls in love. Here's the shocking truth. Most people don't realize men don't fall in love the way women do. While women often connect emotionally first, men go through a completely different process, a psychological journey that happens in 3 distinct stages. And here's where it gets fascinating. If you don't understand these stages, you can misread his signals, misinterpret his actions, and unintentionally sabotage a relationship that could have been amazing. Think about this. Maybe you've met a guy who seemed obsessed with you at the start. He couldn't stop texting, calling, making plans, and saying how much he liked you. Everything felt magical, until suddenly he became distant. Your gut told you something changed. You started replaying conversations, overanalyzing texts, and wondering, what did I do wrong? But the truth is, you probably didn't do anything wrong at all. What really happened is this. He entered stage 2 of falling in love, the stage where men subconsciously test their own emotions. It's the point where a man's fears, doubts, and defenses kick in. And because women don't see it coming, they react in ways that push him further away without realizing it. Understanding these stages isn't just helpful, it's transformational. It allows you to see his behavior through his eyes, not yours. You'll finally understand why he acts interested one moment and withdrawn the next. You'll know what triggers emotional closeness versus emotional distance. And more importantly, you'll learn exactly how to respond at each stage so you're building connection instead of creating resistance. The women who understand this secret have an incredible advantage. Instead of chasing love, they attract it naturally. Instead of feeling confused and frustrated, they feel confident and secure. And instead of losing men they deeply care about, they know how to inspire lasting commitment, without begging, without games, and without changing who they are. Once you learn what truly drives a man's heart, you'll never look at dating and relationships the same way again. The power to transform your love life starts here. And in just a moment, we're going to break down stage 1, the very beginning of his journey into love, and why it sets the foundation for everything that follows. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Stage 1 is where everything begins. That first spark, that undeniable pull, that moment when a man sees you and something inside him wakes up. But here's the truth. Most women don't know. Men don't fall in love because of how you look. They fall because of how you make them feel in this stage. When a man first meets you, his brain instantly scans for signals. He notices your energy, your vibe, the way you carry yourself, and yes, your appearance. But that's just the entry point. What really matters is whether you activate his curiosity. If he feels that there's something different, something intriguing about you, his instinct pushes him to want more. At this stage, men are driven by emotional excitement. It's not just about physical attraction, it's about mystery, playfulness, and the feeling of possibility. When you trigger these emotions, his mind starts imagining a future, not necessarily commitment yet, but the thought of what could happen. That's why men often seem so eager in the beginning, calling, texting, making plans, and putting in effort. But here's where many women get it wrong. They assume this early passion means he's already emotionally invested. He's not yet. At this point he's drawn to you, but his heart hasn't decided if you're someone he wants to deeply connect with. If you rush intimacy, overinvest, or pressure him for clarity too soon, you risk skipping the natural flow of attraction, and that can push him away before he even realizes why. The key to thriving in stage 1 is to match his energy without chasing it. Keep the mystery alive. Let him experience the thrill of discovering you, layer by layer. When a man feels like he's earning your time and attention, instead of it being handed to him, it triggers something primal inside him. He sees you as special. He values you more. And here's the twist. Even if everything feels perfect right now, stage 1 is just the beginning. Because once that initial excitement fades, something shifts inside his mind. And this is where most women get blindsided. It's the moment he moves into stage 2, the stage where his emotions get tested, his fears show up, and his behavior starts to change in ways that confuse you. Stage 1 gets his attention, but stage 2 decides his heart. And in just a moment, I'm going to reveal why most women unknowingly fail stage 2, and what you need to do instead to make him fall deeper, not drift away. This is the stage where everything changes, the part most women never see coming. Stage 2 is the moment when a man starts questioning his feelings, not because he doesn't like you, but because his emotions have triggered something deeper inside him. And if you don't understand what's happening here, this is where things can fall apart. At first in stage 1, he's excited, curious, and drawn to you. But when stage 2 begins, his brain shifts from desire to evaluation. He starts asking himself questions like, is she really what I'm looking for? Can I see myself with her long term? Do I feel safe enough to open up? These thoughts aren't conscious decisions, they're emotional triggers, and they can cause him to suddenly seem distant, distracted, or inconsistent. This is why so many women get confused and panic. You feel the shift in his energy and immediately assume he's losing interest. Out of fear, you might start texting more, asking for reassurance, or confronting him about his feelings. But here's the harsh truth. The more you chase during stage 2, the faster he pulls away. Stage 2 isn't rejection, it's hesitation. It's a natural emotional defense mechanism. Men fear vulnerability just as much as they crave connection. And in this stage, he's unconsciously testing whether the bond he feels with you is strong enough to overcome his doubts. The biggest mistake most women make here is reacting instead of understanding. When you pressure him for answers, try to fix the situation, or overinvest to win him back, it unintentionally confirms his fears, making him believe the relationship might be moving too fast or lacking emotional balance. The secret to winning stage 2 is to hold your ground emotionally. Give him the space to process his feelings without assuming the worst. Stay confident. Continue living your life, setting your boundaries, and showing him, without words, that you're secure within yourself. When you handle stage 2 correctly, something powerful happens. His doubts dissolve, his fears quiet down, and he begins to trust his emotions. That trust is what pushes him forward into stage 3. The stage where he doesn't just want you, he chooses you. Most relationships fail in stage 2 because neither person understands what's really happening. But if you can navigate this stage with patience and self-assurance, you'll create the kind of emotional bond that makes a man fall not just in love, but in commitment. This is the moment everything changes. Stage 3 is where a man's heart finally catches up to his feelings, where the uncertainty, the hesitation, and the testing from stage 2 fade away, and he chooses you fully and completely. But here's the thing, getting to this stage doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of emotional trust, connection, and understanding built through the first 2 stages. When a man reaches stage 3, he's no longer evaluating whether you're good enough for him. He's envisioning a future with you. He's not just attracted to you physically. He feels emotionally safe, deeply connected, and truly understood. This is the point where he lets down his guard and allows himself to be vulnerable in a way most men rarely show. But here's the secret: commitment for a man isn't just about love, it's about certainty. A man decides to stay, invest, and build a life with you when he feels 3 powerful things: that he's accepted for who he is, that the relationship makes him a better version of himself, and that being with you feels effortless rather than pressured. In stage 3, his behavior shifts. He starts prioritizing you in his life. He plans ahead. He introduces you to his inner circle, his friends, his family, his world. He includes you in his decisions because now you're not just part of his present, you're part of his future. And unlike the early stages, his words and actions align consistently. But here's where many women unknowingly disrupt this stage. They think that once commitment begins, the work is done. The truth is, emotional bonding isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process. A man stays emotionally invested when he continues to feel respected, desired, and appreciated. When you nurture the emotional connection rather than taking it for granted, you deepen the bond and make it unbreakable. It's also important to understand that men crave something many women underestimate: freedom within love. When he feels that he can be himself, pursue his goals, have personal space, and still be loved unconditionally, his attachment to you becomes stronger, not weaker. The more secure he feels, the more he wants to give, to show up, and to stay. Stage 3 isn't about playing games, proving your worth, or trying to make him choose you. It's about showing up as your authentic self and allowing the connection to grow naturally. When you've navigated stage 1 with confidence and survived stage 2 with patience, stage 3 becomes the reward. The moment when love deepens into trust, desire transforms into devotion, and attraction evolves into true partnership. This is the stage where lasting relationships are built, where love stops being a feeling and becomes a choice. And when a man chooses you in stage 3, it's not temporary. It's real, it's intentional, and it's powerful enough to stand the test of time. But here's the catch. Getting here isn't about changing yourself to fit what he wants. It's about understanding his emotional journey and aligning with it naturally. That's when you stop struggling to make him stay and start creating the kind of connection where he wants to stay, without hesitation. Stage 3 is where he stops running from love and starts running toward you. Now, before we move forward, we need to talk about something that ruins more relationships than anything else. The mistakes that silently push men away. These aren't dramatic, obvious errors. They're small, subtle actions that build up over time, and most women don't even realize they're doing them. The first mistake is over-investing too early. In the beginning stages, you're excited, you like him, and you want to show him how much you care. But here's the thing. When you give too much of your time, energy, and attention before he's emotionally invested, he doesn't feel closer to you. He feels overwhelmed. Men need to feel like they're choosing you, not being pulled into something they're not ready for. The second mistake is chasing reassurance. Maybe he's suddenly a little distant, replies slower, or seems distracted. Naturally, you want to know what's going on, so you start texting more, calling more, asking, "Do you still like me?" or "What's wrong?" While your intentions come from love, this creates pressure. Instead of pulling him closer, it makes him step back to get space. The third mistake is trying to control his feelings. This can show up in subtle ways, constantly checking in, needing updates, expecting him to respond immediately, or pushing for answers before he's ready. Men need space to process their emotions, especially during stage 2, and when they feel like they're being cornered, their instinct is to retreat. Another big mistake is forgetting your own life. When you make him your entire world, canceling plans, abandoning hobbies, or constantly waiting for his attention, he senses that shift. At first he might enjoy the closeness, but eventually, it creates imbalance. Healthy attraction comes from two whole people coming together, not one person giving up everything to keep the other happy. The fifth mistake is ignoring emotional pacing. Many women assume that if the connection feels strong early on, it means both people are moving at the same emotional speed. But here's the reality. Men often fall in love differently. And if you try to rush him into labels, commitments, or declarations before he's ready, he feels trapped, even if he genuinely likes you. And finally, the biggest mistake of all, not understanding his silence. When a man withdraws for a moment, many women take it personally and react out of fear, arguing, questioning, or assuming the worst. But often, his silence has nothing to do with losing interest. It's his way of processing feelings, stress, or doubts. If you misinterpret that and respond with panic, you can accidentally push him further away. The truth is, most men don't pull away because they've stopped liking you. They pull away because something in the dynamic made them feel pressured, misunderstood, or emotionally unsafe. The solution isn't to chase harder, it's to hold your emotional center, stay confident, stay grounded, keep living your life. When a man sees that you respect his space while still valuing yourself, it draws him back naturally without force, without begging, and without fear. If you avoid these mistakes, you create an environment where love grows effortlessly, where he wants to stay, not because he has to, but because he can't imagine being anywhere else. By now you understand how men fall in love, what triggers attraction, and the mistakes that push them away. But here's the real secret to building a lasting connection. Keeping him emotionally invested. Because getting his attention is one thing, but keeping his heart is where the real magic happens. The first thing you need to know is this. Men don't stay because of constant excitement or endless passion. They stay because of emotional security. A man invests when he feels safe to be himself without fear of judgment, rejection, or pressure. That means creating an environment where he can open up, express his thoughts, and be vulnerable without worrying about how you'll react. The second key is emotional reciprocity. In the beginning, it's normal for a man to put in a lot of effort, planning dates, texting first, showing interest. But over time, what truly keeps him connected is when he feels that his energy is matched. That doesn't mean chasing him or overgiving, it means showing genuine appreciation, meeting him halfway, and letting him see that his efforts matter. Third, understand the power of mystery and individuality. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is losing their sense of self. When you maintain your passions, friendships, goals, and personal identity, you become endlessly attractive. A man stays emotionally invested when he knows you have your own life and happiness, because it reminds him that he chose you out of desire, not dependency. Another important piece is emotional attunement, being able to read his energy and respond without overreacting. Sometimes he'll be distant, stressed, or quiet, and it has nothing to do with you. When you can respect his space instead of taking it personally, it builds trust. That trust becomes the foundation of a bond that's almost unbreakable. Finally, focus on building emotional experiences together. Passion fades, but connection lasts when you create shared memories, celebrate each other's wins, and support each other's growth. Whether it's a spontaneous road trip, cooking together, or having deep late-night conversations, these small, meaningful moments are what transform attraction into lasting love. Here's the truth. Keeping a man emotionally invested isn't about being perfect, looking flawless, or playing games. It's about creating a space where he feels understood, valued, and inspired. When a man feels like he's becoming the best version of himself with you by his side, he doesn't just stay, he chooses you every single day. And that's the difference between a relationship that burns out quickly and one that lasts a lifetime. Love doesn't thrive on pressure, demands, or fear. It thrives on freedom, respect, and emotional connection. If you've made it this far, you now hold the key to his heart. Understand his journey, avoid the traps, and create the kind of bond where he doesn't just fall in love, he stays in love. That's how you inspire lasting commitment and keep him emotionally invested for the long haul. Take a deep breath for a moment, because what we've covered today isn't just about dating tips or relationship advice. It's about understanding the hidden emotional journey a man goes through before he chooses to give his heart. Once you understand these 3 stages, everything changes. You'll stop second-guessing yourself, you'll stop overthinking his actions, and you'll finally start seeing love from a place of clarity, confidence, and control. Think about it. Before this video, you might have been caught in the same cycle so many women struggle with: confusion, frustration, and self-doubt. You meet a man, things feel amazing, and then suddenly he pulls away, leaving you wondering what went wrong. But now you know it's not always about losing attraction. It's about navigating those emotional transitions he experiences, especially in stage 2. Here's the beautiful part. Once you understand his psychology, you no longer have to chase him, convince him, or fight for his attention. Instead, you create an environment where connection grows naturally. You know when to lean in and when to give space. You recognize the difference between a temporary hesitation and a genuine loss of interest. And that understanding is powerful. It's what transforms dating from a guessing game into a meaningful journey. But here's something important I want you to take away. None of this works if you forget your own worth. A man doesn't fall in love with you because you perfectly manage his emotions. He falls in love because you're confident, grounded, and authentic. The most magnetic thing you can be is yourself. Fully, unapologetically, beautifully yourself. When you show up from a place of self-respect, you naturally inspire a man to value you more deeply. And maybe as you're watching this right now, you're thinking about someone specific. Maybe a man who feels distant. Maybe a relationship you want to rebuild. Or maybe you're single and preparing for the right one. Wherever you are, remember this: love isn't about controlling someone's heart. It's about creating the kind of connection where choosing you feels effortless. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this knowledge: without action changes nothing. Now that you understand these stages, use them to guide how you communicate, how you connect, and how you carry yourself. That's how you move from confusion to clarity, from insecurity to confidence, and from uncertainty to lasting love. If this video gave you clarity, hope, or a new perspective, here's what I want you to do right now. First, hit the like button. It lets me know this helped you and allows other women to discover it too. Second, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. We have so much more to uncover about love, attraction, and emotional connection. And finally, drop a comment below telling me which stage surprised you the most, or where you are in your relationship journey. I read every single comment and I'd love to hear your story. Remember this: the right man doesn't fall in love with a version of you you're pretending to be. He falls in love with who you truly are. And when you understand his emotional journey, you stop fighting for love and start attracting the kind of relationship where he doesn't just want you, he chooses you, fully and completely. This is your moment to step into that power. Love doesn't have to be complicated when you finally understand the rules of the game, and now you do.